February of 2013. At that meeting, I learned about JAM and heard about a program that I was interested in that Doug Pointer was going to be presenting. So I went to that program and I listened to Doug talk about following your passion and creating your job. I went home that afternoon, I wrote a long email to my career coach, and I started into motion the creation of my own company. Rusty, I know it feels weird. I've always been a teacher and librarian. I'd worked in public schools, and I was president of the Virginia Education Association from 2008 to 2012. I didn't want to work in a traditional job anymore. That's what I came to from my one meeting with career prospectors and my one meeting at JAM. I wasn't interested in going back into a traditional job. So I created my own job. I specialize in working with teachers who are burnt out and want to find career alternatives, because I don't want those folks in the classroom. But I've evolved over the course of the last 3 years, and I work a lot with mid-career professionals like you all who are stuck in your job search. So I consider myself a career transition coach and a job search strategy coach. And one of the strategies that I encourage my clients to employ is the use of social media. And Charlie's asked me to do this. If you were here in August, you've probably seen some of these quotes that I'm going to be using. This comes from Sarah K. White, who wrote an article about the use of social media in job search. And she has said that social media can make or break your job search. Mm-hmm. That's not good news for you if you haven't been paying attention to social media, if you don't have an optimized, up-to-date, prime time LinkedIn profile, if you're not utilizing Facebook to follow companies and find out what's up with the company that you might be interested in working for, or if you're not on Twitter, creating connections with people who may be in a position to introduce you to the person who will hire you for your next position. I've used this slide before too. For those of you who are kind of fuzzy on what social media is and what it is that we're actually talking about, this particular slide says social media explained. Twitter, I'm eating a donut. Facebook, I like donuts. Foursquare, this is where I eat donuts. Instagram, here's a vintage photo of my donut. YouTube, here I am eating a donut. Or another version might be how you might also eat a donut. LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. Pinterest, here's a donut recipe. Last FM, now listening to donuts. And Google Plus, I'm a Google employee who eats donuts. Yes, sir.
Does it help if I turn the lights out?
It might. Sarah White also says if you have a lax attitude to your social media accounts, it can hurt you as much as having no social presence at all. Some human resource directors and hiring managers, when they receive your resume and they start to look for you on social media, if you are not to be found, that's as much of a red flag for a lot of individuals as having a poor presence on social media. So I don't recommend that you take the attitude of, well, it's too complicated and I don't want to have to fool with it and I don't have time to deal with it. If you do that, you're doing yourself as much harm possibly as not using your social media very well.
Kitty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a thing, I'll put you on the spot, but you're a recruiter. Do you look on people's social media profile?
Oh, of course. Everyone I would talk to.
Now, I'm curious, do you start with LinkedIn or do you, okay, so I've heard that sometimes recruiters and hiring managers actually don't go to LinkedIn first. They go to Facebook and Twitter first. They expect to see the good stuff, like the Sunday best stuff on LinkedIn. They're expecting to find out who you really are by checking out your Facebook and Twitter
It really
account.
depends on the company and the company culture and what they're going to be
So is it true that you wouldn't be interested in a candidate if you couldn't find anything about them?
Probably, yeah.
You would see that as a red flag. So the point is, you can't avoid it, so you might as well get with the program. Yes, Jan?
One other new statistic, 90% of HR managers touch LinkedIn at some point of the process. They either check out your profile, they check out your company, the references, or or candidates are using it to identify and research recruiters. 90%.
I'm surprised it's only 90%. I would think it's even
Yeah.
higher than that. And like I said, many employers are considering that no presence is a red flag. Yes, sir?
I'm just gonna liken your social media presence to managing your debt. Nobody likes debt, but you need debt to get credit rating.
There you go.
If you've got nothing on the internet, why?
Yeah.
None of us want to have debt, but we have to have it to have credit. Same sort of thing with social media.
That is a good analogy.
Kitty,
Yes, sir?
talking about the difference in LinkedIn and other social media sites. My perception is, Jamie, that HR professionals that are seeking professional positions tend to search for people on LinkedIn.
Yep.
They tend to find those positions. An HR manager that may be hiring entry-level laborers may not be using LinkedIn at all. So, I mean, I think
It depends. That is true. It
It's
depends.
a very high percentage.
And I'm going to be talking in general about the three top social media sites are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You need to be mindful, at least, of your presence on each of those platforms. There are certainly others. There's Pinterest, and there's Instagram, and Snapchat, and Periscope is becoming more used, certainly by some social media promoters. So there are tons of them, but the top three to consider are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Joe?
I just want to throw out, I mean, last year or so, we had a number of career prospectors people, and they worked with Richmond Times-Dispatch, and they talked about the challenges of experienced veteran job seekers. They use the word old. But one of the challenges is perception. We do have an experienced group. And if you come across it, oh, I don't need Facebook, I don't need Twitter, I don't need that stuff. You gotta stay young, you gotta stay active, you gotta be involved in these types of things. So again, that could be a red flag.
Exactly. It ages you if you don't have a solid social media footprint. A Career Builder study revealed 5 top things that recruiters are looking for in any social profile, whether it's your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook, Twitter. They're looking for